Here we are.
Hello, Jeff. Hello, Joffrey.
How you doing?
Hello, Joffrey. How are you?
I'm good. I mean, I can't complain, right? Patriots going to the Super Bowl.
Going to the ship.
I guess I could complain about the snow
ship
we got, but I don't know.
Yeah, I can complain. You want to hear it?
No.
Okay. Well, you're going to hear it anyway. Yeah, dude, this has been a hell of a week. I was sick all week. I knew on Sunday when I wasn't. I actually Sunday watching the game, I paced so much that like my entire body hurt, and I was like, I can't believe like just pacing around and anxiety during the game is making my entire body hurt. Little did I know that I'd wake up on Monday sick as a dog. And then, of course, that just went further with the snow and the moving of snow and the, the stress of like, will we lose power? Will we not? And yeah, so I've been sick for a few days. And then today was its own glorious little cherry on the shit Sunday when we ran out of propane gas for our cooking stove, our heating element and the heating element in the garage. And all the workers came in and were like, it smells like propane. I was like, that's not good. And yeah, I
that's
called
never
the gas.
good.
Yeah, they were like, all right, we have to read you this legal announcement. And I was like, no. They're like, we have to read it. And, they were like, everybody needs to leave the house. I'm like, the cats? They're like, it's up to you. So, yeah, we all had to vacate the premises about an hour ago, only to discover that really we were just out of gas. And when you're out of gas, you can smell propane. You don't normally smell propane, blah, 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 but that's where we are.
Well, at least nobody, got hurt or affected by it, so that's all that matters.
Beginning part of that story, Jeff. I am hurt. I'm destroyed over here. All right.
Like, in a hospital or something.
No, I like your rose-colored glasses, and maybe I should borrow them. We've got a great one today, Jeff. We've got a great guest, someone we've been looking forward to talking to for a very long time.
Absolutely.
We've also got, oh God, look at the people coming into the show.
I know,
we've got you, Rod Christensen, Stefan, Rob Unger, Sean Berg, Richard Moniz, and I can see a whole bunch of other people popping in. Today we're going to be talking on Where the Dogs of Society Howl about pro-human creativity, not anti-AI, but pro-human creativity in the age of AI. I mean, we're using AI right now, Jeff, right?
I would think so. Yeah, absolutely. With all this technology that we have.
AI's everywhere. Not if you agree, people, or just put your number ones in the air. I don't care. AI's everywhere. Somehow, it does tend to sort of be diluting, I think, in some ways. Some of the brand work that I see, some of the writing that I see, but I mean, I think that there's room for both. And our guest today, we're going to be talking about not only room for both, we're going to be talking about storytelling, art, community, because our guest today is the Fisk kid from up the road, Mr. and Mrs. Fisk's kid. He's a great community builder, and it's funny because I met him on a rando. I was in a chat, not a chat room, but like a that sounds weird.
Did you have to pay by the minute for the?
Yeah, the Mucinex is just wreaking havoc on me. Yeah, no, I met him. We both signed up for some kind of a course on that, understanding your sort of leadership energy and that sort of thing. And it was really interesting. And I think both Scott and I got a little emotional during this therapy session. And then afterwards, we really connected strongly, powerfully, over some things, some shared experiences, something that I had previously gone through, something that he was like just going through. And we developed a really good friendship over that, and we've stayed in touch ever since. And having him on the show was a no-brainer, right?
Absolutely. That sounds like a great story of the whole meeting and connecting.
All right.
Okay.
All right. We've got ourselves founder, CCO of iAiAM, and he's the artist behind Studio 669. He spent decades in the brand design and partnership work. He has, now he's on what he calls Chapter 3, the legacy work. He's building a pro-human creativity community in a world where AI is pretty loud and originality is starting to get pretty rare. He's a rad dad. I know that. You're about to find out. An artist for artist guy. We'll make him explain that himself. And he runs on coffee and conviction. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage the lovely and talented Scott Fisk. Scott motherfucking Fisk. Where is he? Where is he? Get him in here. Split the curtain. Bring him in. Where is he? There he is.
Oh. Hey, Scott. How you doing?
Scott mother-loving Fisk.
Hey, man.
How are you, buddy?
Hey, I'm all right. I'm all the way up here in Vermont, and you're just like down the street and around the corner. Take a left at the oak tree stump. Right?
That's right.
Exactly.
That's right.
Down the hall.
That's right.
How's things going in Vermont this week? Plenty of snow?
Oh, yeah, there is some frost on the pumpkin. Not gonna lie.
Frost on the pumpkin.
Oh, yeah. The pumpkin is called it quits. He's rolled over the bank and he's hanging out down by the brook trying to keep
Okay.
it. Yeah.
Sweet.
There's probably a few gnaw marks on the pumpkin at this point.
Maybe just a few. Yeah, it's what's so funny is we're in the Northeast, all of us here, and talking about it being cold, and when you get to a point, it gets so cold that cold is just cold. It doesn't matter if it's 0 or it's 5 above or 10 below. It's just cold, right?
Right.
And that's so sad hearing about you in the green room when I was in the green room hanging out. Your propane situation. That's no fun.
Oh God. It's my fault, honestly, because I'm the only one in the world in this house on the property that can check the damn tank, right? Obviously, it's only me that can do that. But the truth is that I took it off automatic refill a while ago because I felt like they kept, but I felt like they kept topping it off every other day, and I was like, dude, what do you guys like? Need money? Like, what is this? You're over here every other week.
Was the case.
Topping me off, and so I was like, hey. Yeah. So anyway, long story short, we have this addition going on, and they put in this new doohickey heater for the garage that's connected to the gas, which apparently just eats up gas like it's its job. Apparently that is its job. So we went from having plenty of gas to no gas, and it's a little too late to find out. But hey, the upside is they're coming back today to refill that bee, and we're off and running again.
We're off and running again. That is
again
good to go.
It's amazing how fragile humans are. We have this like 100 degrees sweet spot between 0 and 100.
That's right.
And you start goofing around with all the other stuff, like that little situation. Laughing about it now. Safety is on the way. The propane tank's going to show. But prior to that, it's like whoa.
Yeah. Oh my God! Well, and everyone that knows me, Scott, knows that I'm a fragile daffodil. Anyway,
I'm gathering. I think a petal just fell off of that.
Listen, man, a few petals fell off this daffodil many moons ago, and they ain't coming back.
All right.
So, hey, we were talking a little bit about in the intro about your Chapter 3 legacy work, but why don't you give us a little breakdown on Scott Fisk, Chapter 1, Chapter 2? How did you get here?
All right, for sure. And and to speak to that thing, you and I did mobilize in this exploratory.
Yep.
I mean, this person, she was, and I give them credit. I give them credit because just like anybody, stepping up to the plate, swinging, taking a run at it, and then gathering information at the end. It wasn't my vibe. It wasn't your vibe, but we got something really special out of it. We got what we're doing today, and that's just the long game. You just know when you're going to connect with people, right?
That's right.
But as far as me, it's not a shtick, it's not a pitch. It really comes down to what I'm doing now is everybody has that calling, and for me, it was a calling that wouldn't stop calling. And when AI started rolling in and everybody is flying the plane as they build it, and humans are going to be replaced and blah, blah, blah. And you start seeing all these anti-this communities where everybody is screaming and throwing the babies out with the bathwater and moaning. No actionable items, but just moaning and freaking out. I'm an actionable person because just moaning doesn't do anything. Give me the handbook. Let me build this thing. But there was no handbook. And even though I've been an established designer for decades, I've drawn for Ford, I've drawn for Dodge, I've drawn for Ram Chargers, blah, blah, blah. I was still feeling it too. And I have a lot of people in my world, because I've been doing this for a long time, even way back when magazines were still a thing. There might be people in here that don't really know what a magazine is, and that's okay. I was a syndicated artist. I was in many magazines, and being syndicated was a big deal, real big deal.
Mm.
And when the age of digital came along, it kind of just leveled out the playing field, and magazines were just basically a big house of cards. You still get to that spot where those things even go away. And then talking with other artists that were freaking out, I realized that I needed to find a spot where people could gather, community. Because I am an independent artist, I've been an independent artist all of my life. I work with other groups, but I'm a hired gun. I'm a freelancer. And so that's where iAiAM was born out of. So IA stands for independent artist. So if you were to say to me, Scott, are you an IA? My reply is, I am. IA, I am. It's a declaration. So you guys, you're IAs too. You're a creative, Peter. You are an iAiAM. You are an IA.
Mm.
We also opening that up. It's about we are pro-human creative. So inside of this private community, because not every artist belongs to a large firm where you have people going out and lining up work, inside of a community, there is ownership and agency. Inside of our community, it is ours, not mine. Inside of our community, vanity metrics and impression counts and headlines on our open networks, all that crap I'm not calling it crap. All that stuff is just gone. And it's about people showing up, and people use the space for many different things. I've had people say, well, what is it? Well, what is LinkedIn to you? Anybody listening? Some people use it just for a jive. Some people use it for entertainment, like they're watching live with us right now. Some people are on the premium thing and they're like deep diving and looking for work, all of those things. So the answer is, what is it do you want it to be? So we do our lives every week. Like I've got a live tonight with an artist out of California who is a 2, 3, and 4D designer. Never heard of 4D, but he's a 4D cinema
4D.
guy. Should be pretty cool. So I'm going to be on the other side asking these questions, but it's also one of those things that we're beyond what we're doing. So it's not just what I'm doing and I've got this community and I'm this artist from Studio 669. It's that I'm Scott and there's a whole bunch more to me. So in a focus community, and I don't care if it's an art community or any other kind of community, you're getting very sniper focused, you're getting very specialized, you're having conversations with people that know the language. You're not worrying about a troll showing up because trolls don't have time to be in there, and also I'm the one that I'm the dungeon master, right? I can pull the trap door and they're just gone. And that's what's really wonderful. So, that's not really a pitch, it's the truth. And one of the really wonderful things that happened during this build is not knowing what I was doing at all, just knowing it had to happen and learning to ask other creatives. So like if you guys were in my community, I'd be like, where am I leaving stuff on the table? Tell me, am I leaving anything on the table? Because everybody's got a specialty. Everybody's got if you tried this or you tried that, because it's really important that people feel that it belongs to them too. Right?
I want to make sure you tell us and this audience who's here right now, because we've locked the doors; they're not going anywhere. Yeah, we've bolted the doors.
Okay.
What is the LinkedIn Live called? What time does it start? How can they find out more about that?
What, the one for tonight?
One for tonight, yeah. Or is that the iAiAM?
Yeah, it's right inside the community.
Okay. Cool. Okay.
We are, and here's another one. I have one of the guys in my community, and he is pro level content creator, YouTube person. That's his wheelhouse, amongst many other things. He's been on Paramount. He's done all these different things. He works for world famous rappers doing content creation for them, all of these different things. But inside, he just goes by his first name, but he has this whole background. And he says, you're leaving a lot on the table by not letting this live natively on YouTube. So let's build out that channel. And I'm like, Daniel, I don't know how to do YouTube. He goes, I do. And see, there you go. I don't need to know everything. And no one likes to show off.
Right.
So he's like, I'm going to get this ready. And I've been working this forever. He's got his own channel already where well, it's just a real large following. So it's wonderful to have that asset and have that flex. So now I do my live tonight and it'll be recorded and it'll be dropped in the replays in the community. But soon enough this year, there will be a YouTube channel so that y'all could get out there and watch it.
That's awesome.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anybody that doesn't know Scott yet, make sure you fix that before the end of the
please come find me on LinkedIn, because anything we don't touch in here, if what I'm doing, even if you're not like interested in being a part of the community, but you're interested in what community is, I'm happy to talk to you about it, because humans need it.
That's right.
We need it. And when we can use technology as a superpower, like we're doing right now, because you can't always IRL, in real life. My kids told me what IRL stood for. I'm like, who's Earl? And they're like, Dad. Right. But we need it. And it's really a no-brainer. Our community is subscription based. Most of them are. Anything worth having is subscription based. It's like if you had a gym membership, it vets out all the idiots. It keeps, because idiots want stuff for free. They want to throw shade. We don't throw shade. We shine floodlights.
Yeah.
Anybody who's in my community, I want you to win. If you're having a problem, and if I don't have a dot to connect it to, somebody else in the community does. And
I love that.
Yeah.
You mentioned it at the beginning too, about, some of the things that you are beyond your LinkedIn profile. And it's so funny. I had someone the other day that I had just met, had a quick chat with, and they were like, I was like, well, what made you reach out? And they were like, very simple. The fact that you referenced like that you're a dad in your, in your bio or in your headline. And I was like, oh yeah, well I am. And they were like, well, that's why I kind of wanted to reach out, and she was about to become, she's in the process of being, she's going to be a mom, soon enough. And I was saying, to her, what originally ignited me on LinkedIn, and I want the people listening to feel free to drop into, and I know people like Rob Unger do it and others, drop a couple of comments in there. Tell us in the comments a couple of things that you are that are not in your LinkedIn bio or headline. Everybody puts CFO, CMO, CEO.
Mine says rad dad in training. That's a very
right. And I mean, that's like, I always looked at this and I said, what interests me most on talking to people about on LinkedIn is, and I'll talk to anybody. We know, Jeff, you know that. You've seen this.
Sure.
You've seen it happen. Can't get out of a restaurant. I'm like that dad in the commercial there where you're turning into your parents. Only I
love that.
Is that I want to know what your ands are. Like, it's great. Yeah, you know how to push pixels. I know how to do this. You know how to do that. But what else are you? Are you a gardener? Are you a human? Are you a dad, a brother, a mother, a sister? All these elements of experience in the human life, they make up what makes you so special and unique, right? Yeah. And I think you're a great example of that. The way you lead in with being a rad dad. There's a lot of things you are, but like your
Seuss book, I want to do off of that, right? Like being rad ain't no fad, because when it's a fad, it makes you sad. And that's bad. Like my kids think that's all. Yeah, there's a whole thing that my kids figured out. My 10-year-old starts beatboxing. It's
nice.
Clever.
Awesome. Give him a couple more years. They'll just be like, Dad lost his mind. Yeah. Rod Christensen, science and conspiracy theory nerd. I love it. I am too. Thank you.
In True Talk, I just figured out I've never done this before, everybody. So this is my first time on a live that's being streamed over on LinkedIn. And I just realized, like, man, nobody's talking. And then I'm like, oh yeah, you got to hit the comment tab. I was in the private chat.
Yeah.
So I'm seeing everybody saying hello to me, and hello everybody. Very nice.
Well, you're doing great. You haven't fucked it up at all.
No.
And hey, I just saw we have David Lee Roth's brother, Dan Roth, is here, which is amazing. I love that. Hello.
That's David Lee Roth's brother?
Yeah. Right.
Oh, that's cool.
Doesn't that make sense?
That's awesome.
He's probably right now he's freaking out like, no, what the fuck? I just got here. I've never been here before. He's a DIY mechanic with ambition, baby.
Yeah,
awesome.
Go for it.
Love So
it.
you've worked with Dodge, Ford, Ram. What did those experiences teach you about what actually moves people? Did it teach you anything about that, or did it teach you that the corporate world is just a cesspool, or was there room for you to be creative in it?
I think, well, no, there was room to be creative,
Okay.
and and there was also an understanding, like, so, to speak to that, I've run Studio 669 for over 2 decades, and I've worked with some really big brands, and I've worked with some very fresh startups, but the posture is always the same. I don't use the word client, I use the word partner. And the reason why I say that is it changes the relationship, it changes the posture. And they're coming at me because I possess a skill set that they don't have, and they're welcoming me to a table that they could welcome anybody to. So it's about, don't walk in too big for your britches, but don't also walk in acting like a mutt. So, it's about posture is everything, and remembering that the relationship is lateral. And I've spoken to many young coming upper people, and it's like, bro, don't walk in like a mutt, and don't do the whole broken pigeon wing crying, blah blah blah, because that is throwing yourself under your own bus. And then I also have some things that are just personal triggers, like, well, in the world of AI, an artist that's very accomplished, and they'll refer to this piece that they drew as a doodle. A doodle is on a cocktail napkin and takes about 4 seconds.
Right.
What you did is not a doodle. Calling it a doodle is watering down what you're doing and what we're all doing as a collective.
Devalue.
That's right. So stop throwing yourself under your own bus. You know?
I gotta jump in though. Let me ask you this, because you said something that I've been wrestling with lately, and I want to know what other people think. So I for a while have been on the train also with not referring to clients as clients, but as partners. And, it was positioned to me recently, and I think it can be different in different circumstances.
Oh, sure.
But somebody said to me, yeah, you don't want to make these people partners. Partners are people that you share your home with or you eat dinner with. And you're on. And I said, why? But I said,
now they're just splitting hairs. I mean,
well, no, what I said, well, explain it to me. They said, well, partner, in their opinion, partner seemed to sort of allude to you're available to them whenever, at any point, to just, be reached out to. Whereas a client has a very, with a client relationship, you've got some guidelines here. And I guess my point is,
have they ever, what they were saying with you, do they have years at this where they could speak to it, or were they looking at it through their own?
Yeah. They weren't a newbie. I thought it was just interesting. It did make me think. I'm not about to change my position just yet.
No.
But I think it's interesting, Jeff, right? And anybody else out there?
No, I think, And again, I think it's subjective to the person that you're talking to, right? It's not just a one way
well,
thing.
let's put it this way: instead of partnership, a partnership in the project. I can tell you that in my years of doing this, I haven't had anybody overreach, but that's also my responsibility to set up the boundaries. I'm talking about how you walk into a project understanding that there's a mutual respect. That's what I mean by a partner. So if I have a partner in a project or a partner at work, like not a partner at my kitchen table, totally different thing.
Okay. I think that's a really, that makes things a little bit more clear. I don't think in a lot of these cases it doesn't have to be black or white all the time.
No, it's kind of like, I like red. Well, what color red do you like?
Right.
Because I'm an artist. There's a gaggle of reds, but I'm just using it as a
gaggle of reds.
Gaggle
of whites.
You just made a song.
I know. And hey, on that note, we've got our special friend, from up north, right at the border, the border czar, if you will, the good border czar, not the bad one. Anyways, we're going to bring this fella in. We're going to unleash him. We're going to unleash unholy hell, or just some informative, fun conversation. Either or, you never know what you're going to get. All right, everybody, you ready? Hang in there now. Here we go.
In other news, Robert Cogan.
Robert Cogan.
Cogan has succeeded.
Cogan has just returned.
Welcome to Making Things Happen with Robert Cogan.
Making Things Happen with Robert Cogan. Robert.
Peter.
Are you driving an Uber today? What are you doing?
I'm doing a little Uber side work, but actually close to reality because of my determined insanity. We have some deliveries in the back. That's the what's going on with Robert. That was one of the things you put in that intro, right?
Yeah.
That's right. What's going on?
Yeah. You see, we deal with the big, the medium, and the small and the micro. We have a chiropractor clinic that came to our booth for Melting Forest. She orders 3 cases at a time. She's getting her personal delivery in Windsor, Ontario. After I go activate a LaPerry customer, a produce store in Windsor, and also drop them a bunch of samples and plug them into my Windsor distributor. And it sounds like, yeah, I've been doing this all the time. It's only taken 10 years to get this whole system set up the way it is.
Of course.
Anyway, listening previously, I have to at least acknowledge or try to explain my tagline. When I saw I've exited 10 companies for $1 billion and I was the first man on Mars taglines, I thought, what should I say? Well, there are 2 companies that I co-founded, the Canadian, the US, and then there's my son's business. So that's why it says 3 times co-founder. And Beth and I didn't realize we were angel investors until Harrison said, Dad, Stripe just offered to loan us 140 because of the cash flow we're putting through the Stripe account. So then I called Beth and I said, honey, we're venture capitalists.
Yeah.
So that's my tagline. My tagline is, I hope that is okay based on the standards for Mr. Rad Dad over there.
I think it is. I think it is.
Yeah.
I mean, if you wanted to throw in rabid Toronto Blue Jays fan, that would work too.
Yes, that would work too.
Sure.
So
Rabid,
Scott
you think
and
that
Robert
does it
just met.
justice?
Yeah,
Yes,
these 2
we
guys
did.
just met, and we were starting to talk a little bit in the green room about some of the opportunities and possibilities. Did you have some questions you wanted to throw at Scott for us, Robert? I think you did.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, when I take a look at your work, Scott, I work with Melting Forest, quite a creative label design. And I see Beatbox out there. I see a lot of other brands doing from the first few photos I saw that you sent Peter. So it struck me as, your work is consistent with what I see as like this futuristic wave, like you're at the crest of the wave with that type of stuff. But really, I'm just interested in your opinions on that type of stuff because I saw 2 pictures. So it's like a little looking through a pinhole.
We popped one up here right now for you so other people can see it.
But that's what occurred to me first, is there's a lot of great packaging going on. Rich Moniz, as we all know, is always keeping his eyes on these things. But I'm really interested in what you think about this sort of trend. It's a good creative, it's like a fun way of packaging. And I got so much to say about it, but I'm not going to do that now. I'm going to shut up and want to use my 2 ears to listen to you.
I think that it's one of those things that it's about the willingness to explore, the willingness to go. So like when I'm working with somebody, if you and I, my hope is, or you and I already talked about that, how we're going to further this conversation after this live is even over, but it's about me and you sitting down and having a conversation and interviewing you. And because you have a pulse on this particular landscape that you live within, right? You have your own playground. And it's really important for me to listen to you and take what you're sharing with me and then put my spin, my interpretation on what you're saying. So you can say, I like this color, that color, and this other thing is really fantastic. And then I take those pieces, I put them all together, and then we have a review, like a vision board, a mood board saying, hey, am I doing the right thing? And you'll be like, you're not on the right ball field, or yeah, you just put it over the fence. But it comes down to just asking really good conversation, asking really good questions. So I can tell you, it's like I put a post up earlier about leaving a door open to opportunity. I'm absolutely happy to sit down and have that conversation with you or anybody that wants to bring something to the table because, well, that's how we win. That's how everybody wins. And my job as a designer, and I know all about package design, my job as a designer, and that particular one you put up there was pretty cool because I can tell you all about Hustler.
Yeah.
It's a fictitious toy company when I put that piece together, and they had out, because I based that off of a Kenner SSP toy. If you know what SSPs are, you pull the cord and it rips across.
Yes.
Or if you're a Gen Xer, you know what a SSP stands for, supersonic power.
Yep.
So Speed Shifter is a fictitious toy company. Let's play hard. And they put out this FED, front engine dragster, called the Hustler. So that whole piece is based off of a fictitious package design that would allow this little boy or girl to vision cast, like, I can't wait to buy this thing, pull the cord, let it go across the linoleum at 800 miles an hour, and track that in the ankle. So the toys were built to hurt people. That's the whole idea. So you interview even the piece you're drawing before you even start drawing it, so you're not just flying. It's about being barefoot and feeling the shag carpet between your toes, like right down to that kind of a thing. So when it comes to the package design, like he was just bringing up, it's not about just the package. It's about people self-selecting themselves to be a part of that particular movement, whatever that application is, whether it be a beer, a wine, a soda pop, a Barbie doll, I don't care. But you do it right, the people are self-selecting themselves to be a part of that movement. Does that sound right? Does that sound good?
Well, there's a lot of subjective things you're saying there. And even when I was listening beforehand, it hits a very specific zone in the spectrum or the bandwidth of like just human interaction.
Sure.
In my 2 cents. And by the way, Peter, I would suggest a little on the fly and link over to Richard to see if he can pop in, because he's got a lot better questions than I'm going to come up with for Scott.
Oh gosh, I'm going to be
hit. If you're able to pull off that move. But anyway,
Jeff, can you pull off that move, Jeff?
Yeah, I think I can.
Can you pull
anyway,
off that,
but my point about this partnership thing you guys were talking about, sometimes Peter and Jeff got to guard some abusers that will just like completely inundate them. And the other times they have partners that treat them as partners, like the vibe you feel on this podcast. Yeah. And the what I use is poker table or picnic table. Just act like we're at the picnic table.
Oh my gosh, that is really good.
You want to go poker? I did learn how to play poker by accident, and I did okay. Like I did at shortstop for 45 years, trying to read the batters and everything else you read in baseball. But obviously when I'm listening beforehand, I want to jump through the phone and throw in a few points.
No, that's awesome.
And at the same time, what do you think about can you pull up a melting forest image? Because, I'd love to see what Scott just thinks on the fly.
I can do that.
We can do that.
That would be,
absolutely. And I got to tell you, we got Rob Unger sees a lot of this kind of art on IPA packaging, and he thinks it really kind of works. And Richard Moniz, who we're dropping a line out to at the moment to see if he's got a moment to pop in.
Oh, yeah, I realized. I've got all my stuff behind me.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And Rod Christensen, who totally gets it, love the old school work, 80s Rat Fink style artwork.
Oh, Rat Fink, yeah.
Rat Fink, yeah. I love it. I love the way you do it is clean. That's the big difference too to me, where AI and human, AI still doesn't have taste that humans do. I mean, maybe it will. I think taste is such a big factor, especially in art and design, and I mean, anybody can learn to dip the brush into paint and stroke it across the canvas. But, there are people that have taste where it comes to that. What do you think? I mean, is that something?
I love that. I love that you just said that, because we're going to go way back. I'm a self-taught illustrator, but I'm also a formally taught sign writer, pinstriper, mural artist. So I've been a sign writer. Oh, I love that. That is nice. Oh, that's nice. See, I just stopped.
Sorry.
Some stores,
as soon as I added it goes up.
Like my mouth just got quiet.
I'll take it down.
Well, also, what's great is that what's in that can lives up to the outside of that can.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Right on. Oh yeah.
Right on. Hey,
I'll take your word for it.
We've got. Oh my God, is he? Rich, do you take that hat off?
No, I shower.
That's my favorite flavor too.
You shower in the that shag carpet shower you had installed?
Yeah.
Love it.
Love it.
Oh man, I've renovated some bathrooms that have carpet, and I don't know what people are thinking.
Yeah, that's weird. The carpet in the bathroom thing is
that was right up there with electric heat. Like electric heat's going to be all the rage, man. Until you get the $400 electric bill, and you're like, that hurts.
Hey, Richard Moniz, this is Scott Fisk. Scott Fisk, Richard Moniz.
God, it's a pleasure.
Genuine pleasure.
Yeah. So, Rich, you had some questions or thoughts or
accusations?
You guys were talking about, I think Scott mentioned, taking risks when it comes to packaging. And I think a lot of the categories that I deal with, especially beverage and like energy bars, those kinds of categories, if you aren't willing to push the envelope with your package design, like you might as well just blend in with everything else. You're bound to fail because you're going to lose to other brands that have more prominent shelf positions or bigger brand blocks and look the same as you do.
That's right. And just for a little background here, Rich has Rich Insights is his company, and what they do is eye tracking on CPG packaging. So it's really an amazing tool, especially for folks like us who strongly believe that we have taste, which we do. But his eye tracking program and the way they run that, you can kind of tell what people are looking at and what he's done it for us and gone, if this was just a little bit bigger, it would be more, it would catch more. It would do. And that's the kind of stuff you can't buy,
No, and that's that whole thing about willing to have the conversation, saying, what am I leaving on in this case, the picnic table, not the poker table. What am I leaving on the picnic table? Because I got to be honest with you, I'm so tired of the poker table. I spend more than enough time there. I want to be at a picnic table because in our journey, taking chances, you got to be willing to lose. I've lost. I've had my ass handed to me. But also in that moment, there's that education of, I'll never do that again. You can put a price on it. It's still not a loss because you left learning something. But it's also, I'm in that spot now where I've done enough of that kind of a thing that I'm okay no matter how it lands. So I don't go looking for trouble. But like what I appreciate about talking about shelf space and tier and all of that. Yeah. A job as a designer is to make people say, I've got to have that. I've got to have that. I got to have that.
And I'd like to just add too, just bringing us full circle here with, the thing about AI is that it's a tool. It's a tool in your toolbox.
Yeah.
Just as the eye tracking that Rich is doing, it's using the technology right to its fullest and getting the most benefit from it. But it's the human, right, that has to use the tool. It's only as good as the user, right, of that tool and how trained they are.
That's right. But in some countries, if we want to get on that, in some countries they're being very, very strict because there's a lot of infringing of an intellectual property.
Yes.
Some countries are getting really strong with that, and I'm proud of them for doing that because that's not fair for free agency over something that somebody has done lots of sweat equity. I am not anybody's training model without giving you permission to be your training model. And there's nothing wrong with me saying that or anybody saying that. But yes, because we all are pre-AI, it is a tool in my toolbox. It's not my identity. If the lights turn off, guess what? I can put a headlamp on and I can grab my big pen and I can still throw down.
Yes.
Yep. Stefan made a good point about this too. I'm just going to drop it on screen.
Yeah.
But carry on, Robert. And I agree with what Stefan said 100%.
Oh, it's okay. Do the Stefan question.
Oh, it's just he's saying, can't you use AI as a tool and keep revising, editing your AI images until you find something you like? Aren't you collaborating with AI other than just letting AI make the decisions? I would say, 1,000%. I mean, that's the point of AI is you can't just sit there and let it just make all the decisions because frankly, it doesn't have any taste yet. And B, for the most part, at least in my experience, it'll pretty much agree with whatever you say. So until you've found a way to sort of have it talk back and be a little fresh mouth with you,
give you the finger,
what everybody seems to be afraid of, I use when I ask AI to do something for me, I'll always go back in and say, okay, as my ruthless, vindictive mentor, tell me what you think about that. And then it'll rip me a new one. And I'll be like, holy shit, that's right. You 100%. Let's fix it. I mean, you have to use it accordingly. And frankly, if I can't do it myself, there's things that are great for AI that are just a little bit quicker. For me, artwork is not one of them. You know, if I can't make it, then perhaps I should just find another human to make it for me. That's the way I feel about that.
You know, and that's the thing, is also to understand it's not a one size fits all. So
Right.
you can say it's in a drawer of my toolbox, whereas somebody else might say it's my whole toolbox. And then you got somebody else that says I wadded that up and threw it in the rubbish. It's not in my toolbox at all. So it's not a one size fits all. So when we sit there and people start bashing on each other because not everybody is linear, it's not designed to be linear, really, right? So, you know, other people just have different ways of getting to the destination, and some use it and some don't, and it's all cool. I find in my journey, and I can only speak my truth, is I long for what we're doing even more, because you can't do the chat GPTs and the pods and everything be on autopilot on LinkedIn, commenting back and forth and claim authenticity in the same point, because you're not even there and something is talking for you, and then somebody else's something is talking for them, and it's a crock of crap. So like, show me a typo in a run-on sentence and let me know that you're there and you got a, you know, one of those.
A little
You're
human.
gonna pulse. Yeah.
Don't start saying you're this, that, and the other, and you got all the vibes if you're not even the one that's really sitting there doing it. I mean, that's just, you know.
Yep. And Rob had a comment here, and I think if I'm understanding it right, he's saying, how do you differentiate from other brands? CPG or personal corporate art only get you so far, right? Has to be quality products and services. At least what I'm getting from this is oh, I love that. Who just flushed the airport toilet?
Me.
You on a jet now? Using the bathroom on a jet?
Opening the window because I'm sweating.
Oh, I love it. Sweating, baby.
To the oldies.
I think what I'm getting at, or at least that, Rob, I think what you're getting at is that there's a certain element for designers and artists and branding people that we can't control what you put in the package. That's beyond our purview. We can make recommendations. I will tell you, this tastes like shit. Why don't we just make the package look like shit too? You know, they'll either fire me immediately or go find somebody else, or, you know, but the reality is, and I've probably landed more projects than lost on this, you know, idea that if you have a good product in the package, you need to make sure that the package, the exterior, is presenting or reflecting that quality, that experience inside. And it has to go both ways. You can put the most beautiful package on a can of something and it tastes like garbage, and you sold it once because they were attracted to the package. They'll never come back and buy it again because they know the truth. The reality is the inside sucks. So
that's like a book, like the cover of a book.
That's
might be
right.
written by the best author on the planet, but if it's just a whatever cover.
Yeah. And I mean, for a book, and I love reading. Do you love reading, Scott?
Yeah, Ghost Rider, give me it. X-Men, sure.
I love it. Okay. I you know, the cover of a book is always something that attracts me. But of course, the author's name, if it's somebody I recognize, that's, I don't care what's on the cover. But like, you know, you're right. It is that first look, first glance attraction that gets you there. Richard, what do you think in terms of that? Because in your world, that must play a pretty strong role.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, we can help you get that first sale, but after that, it's on the product. You know, the package is the initial salesman for a lot of people. You know, especially smaller brands. It's likely their first exposure to that brand and what that product is, but. Yeah, after that, it's up to the product. If the product inside sucks, you're not getting repeat sales.
There's a third element, and that's user experience, and that hits a lot of different points. It's they buy the product, they might like the product inside, but the friggin' thing won't open, and it goes all over the floor, and they're not buying it again because of that. And you know, I'm making like a single scenario, but there's like, I have a problem with this and I call customer service and I'm on hold for 40 hours. That's another one that isn't going to make them come back. So there's elements beyond the packaging and the product. I mean, it's the whole experience, right?
Yeah, because if
It's-
somebody does something wrong and they want to be able to recover, like you reach out and you say, "Hey, this Q-tip is stuck in my ear," and the Q-tip person is like, "I'm so sorry, we can fix this thing for you." So, so the first user experience was terrible, the first touch point, but you felt heard, seen. Well, maybe not heard because you got a Q-tip stuck in your ear, but you get what I'm saying. And you're like, "Oh
Yes.
my gosh,
Yes,
yeah,
there's a whole it has to be consistent, that experience, right? It has to
sure,
be a positive experience, and then that's how you create loyal customers.
yeah, yeah." You can put it out there. You say, "We
Allow,
totally belly
allow,
flopped on this thing." You
allow me
fix it.
to, sorry to interrupt, Scott.
No,
Oh,
go,
sure.
go,
Allow me
go.
to throw one of those interwoven points together from the picnic table. It's not a picnic with 1, 2, 3 people, maybe. Still not a real picnic. I'll segue that or transition that over to the baseball team or any type of team that is required. There's people on the team that do things better than others and have positions. That's why I love baseball. So what we're looking at here is the infield and the battery of a baseball team. We just need a few outfielders and a utility guy, and maybe a pitcher. What I mean is that right here amongst us, we have creative. We have you, Scott. We've got Jeff and Peter, who consolidate all of the creative to get to where you got to be to do business on the shelf or on the web page or in the restaurant grab and go. And then you got Richard, who will oversee all of the labels. And then you add a few others. And if I didn't mention what I do, I just get stuff on shelves at any store that is needed to measure the velocity, to make better decisions on investments, to get the brand going. And the segue, another segue I want to do, you mentioned something about the ideas and how they have to be protected from the perspective of the disrespect that is out there in terms of stealing ideas and concepts. But what that reminds me of is how important the intellectual property is. So when a brand says they're going to launch and they ask, oh yeah, what do you think? Co-packing this, cost model, great, ad spends. And then like a real estate agent asking the buyer if you're ready for the $50,000 roof repair in 3 years, you got to let them know that they've got to hire a lawyer. They got to make sure they're not violating any intellectual property. And that's what I consider one of the tools in the toolkit, right?
Yeah.
And before the show, we were
Absolutely.
talking about some networking attributes. I call it value add, as we're sitting at the picnic table. So that's also something interesting because when somebody talks to me, I have a networking attribute. He's on the screen right now, Richard Moniz, who will gladly take a look at anyone's label, engage a little bit, and might help out a startup. Don't everyone call Richard just yet. I got a couple labels he's helping me with. But I just wanted to throw the ball back at you on that topic of, different things in the toolkit that you benefit from. Back to the picnic table base. By the way, you know what is beside pretty much every baseball diamond? Picnic tables.
Yeah, not poker tables.
No.
Oh
Go to the
my.
casino.
Yeah, it's
Right.
kind of nice. I look at
There
this.
is betting though.
Yeah. When I look at this right here, like 5 of us here, and now you just pointed out everybody's attributes, I basically look at it as a living and breathing Rolodex right here. So like there are people, and if anybody doesn't know what a Rolodex is, go Google it. But I'm just saying, like, Rolodexes are worth their weight in gold when they're packed properly. So like when we're talking about package designs and all of this other things in the beginning, and I mentioned partnerships, and then we got on the whole speed dating conversation. I don't know why you did that, Peter, but it's one of those things that like a partnership means about like playing the long game. It's not about turn and burn, hit them hard, hit them once, and you never work for them again because they're just some client, gouge them deep. It's about actually converting them into a warm introduction asset referral machine. So I'm willing to take some stuff on the chin and eat a little bit of time if I foresee that there's going to be some loyalty in the process, because then you also start network pooling. It turns into a much bigger thing than the singular item that we've started having our conversation about. And that only comes from me saying in the past, I've had times where I shot a clay pigeon out of the sky. I should not have shot it. It was a real pigeon. And, metaphorically speaking, and there are relationships that weren't brought to their optimum because, well, we just didn't look out far enough.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I love that.
sense?
It's well said.
Jeff, we've got a prize we need to give away today.
Oh, yes.
And do we know what it is? I don't.
No, I don't know what it is, but I'm sure Robert can help us.
I'm in a
with it.
Mucinex fog, so I don't really know much of anything right now. So Jeff,
Okay,
why
when you asked the question, I wanted to give a little update so we're not sitting there silent waiting for people to answer.
Oh,
but I
sure.
was going to play an incredible video of a crow eating
No.
a dead animal. But sure, Robert, why don't you just do you?
I'll put the question out there first.
All right, Jeff, put the question out, and then Robert's going to roll.
Okay.
Richard,
All
stop
right,
interrupting.
So I'm gonna bring this up. See if this will fit. Here we go. In
The
Men in
wondering what
Black,
the hell this is.
the movie, what do the agents use to erase people's memories? What's the name of it in the movie?
And while everybody's putting their answers in, I got to answer another one of those questions that you put in that intro. What's going on? And
What's going on?
Consistent with the whole picnic table baseball team thing. I have had such a hard time trying to be 9 different roles. So I'm slowly filling up the rosters. A guy named John Costa and Luis. Luis's company is called IKO. And John Costa, you can find him, e-commerce specialist. I have integrated everything with them. It feels like 10 years of struggle have now been solved. So I can't tell you how excited I am to get the PFE website done properly. It's a delicate project because I'm an importer, I'm a brand rep, and I'm not a distributor, but I got to support the distributors and brokers and everybody. These guys are going to be turning the key for me like pros. And I just wanted to give that update because that's a very important thing that's going on with how Robert succeeded this week, Jeff.
Nice. That's awesome. That's great
Isn't
news.
that some good success?
Awesome. Love
But
it.
I wanted to spread the word on that because they do fit the team. They're my outfielders to make sure I can grab everything I need to online. So how are we doing with those answers?
How
It
we
looks
doing?
like our friend Rob answered it correctly. Rob Unger.
Unger.
He's right on top of it.
All right. Rob Unger's on top of a neuralizer from
Oh my
Blammo.
goodness. Rob Unger.
And
The
just as a
dad guy.
note, the neuralizer may cause unwanted night
Bobby
jogging,
Buckets.
night sweats, all of that stuff. Okay. And
Rob
I'd like
can
Jeff.
choose his flavors. He can choose flavors if he wants.
Mm.
Oh, there you go. Oh, we'll get back at you. You know, good. So we're getting ready to close this bee down. I can't thank everybody enough for coming on out today and spending some time with us. These will be 58 minutes you're not getting back. So thank you. You can always catch the show on repeat on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, as well as YouTube and anywhere that great podcasts are heard. But it's probably just those 3 things.
It is probably just
Yeah.
those.
Okay, it's just those 3 things. Rich Moniz, thank you for coming in.
I know.
And
Thanks for
being
having me.
here again. We appreciate that, sir, and for wearing the Brandartica gear. We appreciate that. I've got a hat here. I'm almost at the point where I can find it and send it to Mr. Robert Cogan. We're moving into the new office soon. If I can stop having catastrophic events happen at my house.
Right.
And yeah. Hey, Scott, you're the best. You need to speak again before we go. You got something else for us? Let it out.
Yeah, just do me a favor, Jeff, because I don't know how to like type stuff into the comments, or maybe you have me locked out so that way I can just pay attention to whatever.
No, you're
he's
not
doing.
locked out.
Well, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't see
You'd
it.
have to type it into onto the LinkedIn
right.
side.
No, just do me a favor. Just throw my links in there because
Absolutely.
my
Yeah.
LinkedIn page, I want to have
Yep.
conversations with anybody who wants to have it. Can you put in my community, the one that I've been 14 months deep into?
Mm-hmm.
Do you want me to read that out loud to you and then you type it in, or do you want to just?
Yeah, I'll put it in. I'll put it in there. I can find it.
I just want people to be able to reach out and check it and understand what community is, and tell me if you want me to. It's iAiAM .mn.co.
iAiAM.
AM, not M.
Oh, I'm sorry.
am.mn.co. And then my other one is studio669.net. And I'm a .netter way back before the .comer. .net. Love it. Got to keep it. I had a chance to buy the com. Was not interested.
I love it.
But, you
I
know,
think I
just
put that in wrong.
I just want to say thank you a lot for bringing me in here. And I just got to say, like what I said in the beginning, everybody's got a calling and it won't stop calling. So answer it. And Peter had touched base about how he and I met and we've shared a lot of similar things in life. And I mean, and I'm fine with just being real. I lost my dad 2 months ago yesterday.
Mm.
And it was a very intimate journey. I spent 2 years being his dad and making decisions for him. And it was a very hard time, but what I learned in that is how temporary all of this is.
Mm.
And how headlines and banners and vanity metrics and impressions, it doesn't matter. What matters is that picnic table. What matters
Yeah.
is the picnic table. So out of that loss actually came an urgency for life even more. So like building out this community, I'm on 104 octane in terms of I really want to help people. I love connecting dots. It's not a power trip. I've already done all the power trip stuff. I don't need anything, whatever. It's about these things are that much more relevant. Yesterday was vapor. Tomorrow's not promised. What you have is right now, right now. And when you can live life with that kind of an urgency, a lot of the other crap, you start seeing it for what it is. It's just crap. So
True
I hope that
A
I
little
get
translation there for you to add to that.
sure.
Time is linear. We're
Yeah.
used to the circles.
Yeah.
There is no circle. We are
Right.
flying through space at a few 100,000 miles an hour, and it's a linear thing, but we see the circles, the orbits, the rise, the setting, all that stuff. So a little echo of what you just said there with my
Yeah.
little theory, the way I explain it with linear. You
That's
can't
right.
go back.
That's right. That's right. You
All
can't
right.
buy back yesterday with all the nickels in your pocket.
My
Yeah.
God.
And they don't take
So many
MasterCard.
bumper stickers coming out of this conversation here right at the end. I love
Sure.
it.
I love it.
So,
Sure.
hey, for the rest of you that are still hanging on, and I love seeing you still here, congratulations to Bobby Buckets for winning the prize. And if this anything that landed for you here, drop a comment, pro-human, and tell us what you're building. Okay, we'd love to know.
Yeah.
And
We
we're
love
way
it.
beyond this live. Way beyond this live. Hit me up. Visit with
Hell
me.
yeah.
Know y'all on LinkedIn.
Now, I got to be honest, we're going to get out of here, but I'm going to go on at least one more massive power trip when we sign off. Okay, I have
All
to.
right.
I have to get out of my. All right. All right, everybody. Thanks for coming in. You rock. Everybody, see you later.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Here we go. It's almost done. There it is. Whoa.